Hi, I'm Mary, and today I'm going to walk you guys through an exercise program that I created for my grandma. She has COPD, and so she really is trying to strive to stay fit and just increase the things that she's able to do in her everyday life. I am not going to do a certain number of reps or sets today. Rather, I'm just going to run through the different exercises and show you them, and you can determine what is most appropriate for you based on your current abilities. I know I have her starting at 2 sets of 8 reps of every exercise, just to give you an example. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first exercise we're going to do is bicep curls. I'm going to show you first just the standard version of this, and then I'll show you 2 modified versions of this. So you want to make sure that your shoulders are back. Your elbows are going to stay in at your sides the whole time. And then when you bend your arms, that's where the movement is going to come from. Your upper arm should not move at all during the movement. You want to make sure your shoulders are back and your core is tight throughout the whole time. So that is a standard bicep curl, and I'm going to show you 2 modifications you can do if you're unable to use weights or you don't have any. For this, you can also use just soup cans. I have just standard soup cans here, so if you don't have weights, you can do these just the same. The same exact form, just using the soup cans as well. On that, you really want to make sure that on your way down is when you're going the slowest. So when you curl up, and then really take your time on that downward movement, because that's where you're going to get a lot of your muscle building. Another thing you can use for bicep curls, if you don't have either of those or you just want to try something different out, is a resistance band. I have a nice long one here, so what you'll do is stand on that on the ground, just put your feet in the loop, and then you will hold on to here. Same thing, shoulders back, stand nice and tall, engage your core, and you will bend your arms up and really go down slowly through that movement there. So there are 3 options for your bicep curls. The next exercise is front arm raises. For this, I just have little 3-pound weights here. So as always, we're going to engage our core, put your shoulders back, and then we're going to raise our arms until they're straight in front of us at about a 90-degree angle from our body, and then lower them nice and slowly. I'll show you what that looks like from the front. Shoulders back, core tight. I'm just going to nice raise up and then slowly lower back down. Be sure to stay controlled throughout the whole movement on those. Up next we have hand squeezes. My grandma has a tool. She got it at Walmart, and she holds one in each hand, and it has resistance on there and you can squeeze it. I don't have that, but so one thing you can do is for modification, I have a towel. Just a regular towel rolled up. Put your hands around it like this, and you're just going to squeeze it. So make sure you're standing up, nice and straight, shoulders back, arms in front of you, and just squeeze as tight as you can. Hold it for 2 to 3 seconds, and release. Next we have overhead press. So for this, you're going to want to grab some weights, and you're going to stand up nice and straight, shoulders back. You're going to pick up your arms until they're at about a 90-degree angle here. Shoulders back, core tight, just like that. And then I'll step back so you can see my whole body here, but you'll extend until your arms are fully extended above your head, and then very slowly lower them back down. I'll show you from this angle here. Here, we're going to raise them up until they're fully above our head, and then go back down nice and controlled. Up next, we have triceps extensions. So for that, you're going to use 1 dumbbell instead of 2. You're going to hold the dumbbell up straight behind your head, shoulders back, core tight. It's going to be arms fully extended at first. Really make sure to engage your core for balance on this. We do not want to be leaning back. We want to make sure we have a slight lean forward so to prevent falling. What you're going to do is slowly lower the weight by bending your elbows and then straighten them to extend back over your head all the way. Your forearms should not be moving forward during the movement because you don't want to risk hitting your head with the weight. So we want to keep our upper arms in the same spot, right about in line with our ears as we lower all the way down. And then we extend back up. Nice and controlled throughout that whole movement. Now, if you do not have a weight or you don't have a weight that you're able to do, one neat thing that you can do at home is get a milk jug. And this one's already filled with milk, so I'm not going to dump it out. But if you have an empty milk jug, then you can add as much water as you want to get it to be the resistance you want, and you'll use it in the same way. So there's this nice little handle here that you'll hold on to. Extend your arms straight above your head. And same deal, we're going to lower down nice and slowly. And then extend back up. Our next exercise is upright row. So for this, you'll need 2 dumbbells or 2 soup cans if that's what you would rather use. Stand up straight, our shoulders back, our core tight. Our arms will be in front of us. Have your feet about shoulder width apart. A little bend to the knees to make sure you're able to keep your balance. And for this, we're going to keep our weights close to our body the whole time. And we're just going to pull up until we reach the level of our chest. And then go back down nice, slow, and controlled. So I'll show you from this angle here. Shoulders back, core tight. Lift up slowly so we reach the level of our chest. And then we're going to lower back down nice and controlled. Up next we have a balance activity. So it's called tandem stance. I'm going to lower this a little bit so you can see my feet here because that's a little more important in this. So you're going to stand with your feet, your front foot will be here, and then your back, the toes of your back shoe should touch the heel of your front foot. And the first level of difficulty for this will be holding on to something. For some people that may be challenging enough. So if you need to hold on to something, try to ease the amount you hold on to, minimize that until you're able to do it without holding on. The next step, if you're trying to wean off of holding on to something, would be you can use your arms for balance. So you're in that same position, stand up nice and tall, and you can have your arms out at the sides. And then eventually the goal is to have your arms down either at your sides or across your chest and stay in this position. I'd recommend holding that for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Let's see here. Put that back up so you can see better. Okay. All right, up next we're going to do squats. So for this, I'll show you a normal squat and then we'll show you a modified version of that as well. So for a normal squat, you're going to have your feet about shoulder width apart. Extend your arms out in front of you to help you get balance, shoulders back, and then we're going to bend our knees, keeping our chest upright, looking forward. Our hips are going to go back as we bend our knees and lower, and then we're going to extend back up. I'll show you from this angle here. Our arms are extended out in front of us, feet are shoulder width apart. Our hips are going to go back as our upper body stays upright until we get down. So our thighs are about parallel with the ground is the goal. If you can't get that low, that's okay. And then we'll come back up. Now, if that is too challenging, you can also do an activity called chair sit-to-stands. So for that, you just need any regular chair. And I'll show you front on first. So it'll be the same form with our feet shoulder width apart, shoulders back, core tight. Extend your arms in front of you. You're going to slowly lower down to the chair until you're sitting in it, and then extend back up. So same exact thing, but just you have a chair there to support you at the bottom if maybe you don't have the strength to come back up all the way without that support yet. Up next we have calf raises. I'm going to lower this again so you can see the different variations of that. So first we have just a normal calf raise on the ground. I'd recommend holding on to something whenever you're doing calf raises. It's very easy to lose your balance with these. So go ahead and stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, shoulders back, core tight, and you're going to shift your weight from the back of your foot to the front of your toes as you extend, and bring your heels off the ground and then slowly lower back down. You want this motion to be slow and controlled the whole time. Another option for this, if that doesn't present enough challenge for you, is to do them on the bottom step. So you can stand on this. Always make sure you're holding onto a railing when you're doing this. Lower down, and then we're going to extend and push until we're at the top. Go nice and slow throughout that whole movement. And then our final level for calf raises will be single leg calf raises. So again, hold on to something, and we're just going to pick up one foot, go up, and then we'll slowly lower back down. Make sure you do the same amount on both legs to prevent any muscle imbalances. Alright, next we have single leg balance. So there are a few variations on this I'll show you as well. One will be just a pick up one of your feet holding on. For some people that may be enough of a challenge. For some of us it might not be. So the next option would be to stand out and just pick up one foot and see if you can balance like that. Your foot doesn't have to be very high off the ground. It could be only a couple inches. If you want to increase the difficulty, you can pick your foot higher. And then our final level for this one will be picking up our knee and holding onto it. The goal for this would be to be able to stand in this position for up to a minute. So next we have lunges. For that, the first variation of that will be holding on to something for balance support. So you'll stand with your feet shoulder width apart, core tight, shoulders back. Step forward with one of your feet planted on the ground. And you're going to bend down until that front thigh is parallel with the ground. Then stand back up and push off. So forward, bend down, back up, and push back. The next option for that will be to do it without the support. So for that, you can either put your hands on your hips, if that's easiest, and lunge down. I'll step back so you can see that full movement. And then I'll do it at an angle so you can see that as well. You can also add difficulty to that by holding a weight in either hand if that's better for you, if you need a more challenge. The next exercise is good mornings. For that, you're going to put your hands behind your head, shoulders back, feet shoulder width apart, and you're going to lean forward, keeping your upper body in a line the whole time. Lean forward. The movement should all be coming from your hips here. So your body's about parallel with the ground, and then raise back up. So from the front, see we're here. Just going to go down nice and slow, keeping our upper body erect, and then raise back up. Next we have lateral band walks. Band walks might be too challenging for some of us, so we can do lateral sidestepping. Make sure your feet start shoulder width apart, a little bend to the knees. You can have your hands here, you can put them here. It doesn't truly matter where you have your hands at, just put them where they're comfortable for you. We're just going to step to the side, and bring this foot back, and then come back this way. To increase the difficulty on that, if you have a circular resistance band that's a little bit smaller, you can pop that on. And then same position, with your feet about shoulder width apart, step back and forth. Make sure you really control this movement here. Next we have toe taps. For this, you'll need something that's about the height of a stair. Lower that down. And I advise that you hold on to something, but this is going to work on some coordination here, as well as judging stair height, which is important. So you're just going to pick up one foot, tap the stair, bring it down, and do the other foot. Now you can do this fast if you want. You can also try and do it nice and slow to work on that control. And then our last activity we have is standing crossbody crunches. So for that, we're going to stand with our feet shoulder width apart, shoulders back, and our arms are going to be up in the 90-degree position. We're going to pick up our left foot and bring our right elbow to touch our left knee. So here, put it back down. Then we'll pick up our right leg and bring our left elbow to touch our right knee. So a little quicker. That's what it'll look like right there. This is really going to work your core strength here. If that is too challenging, you can get a chair, like the one I have right here. And we'll lower this so you can see a little bit better here. Have your arms up in the same position, sit towards the edge of your chair, and you'll twist and same, bring that opposite elbow to opposite knee. So that is the end of the workout. I hope you found some new exercises you enjoy and that this is the start of a great fitness journey for you.